The rest of, as far as getting it clean of any kind of surface rust, that I can get this wicked ass wire wheel attached to this grinder, get in there to clean a lot of this stuff up. We did get the rest of the welding all taken care of. I'm really excited that that took place. And now it's about to get real with finishing, painting it. And even though there's a couple more things that I have to weld on there, it doesn't matter. I want to get it covered already now that the hardcore of it is done and welded. I'm going to be adding on a couple of rails back here towards the back of the trailer where the aluminum ramps will be held. And I think that might be the end of what really needs to be welded on here. I also welded on a little earlier a couple of brackets to hold on, to bolt on some spotlights for the deck of the trailer and what have you, so that I'd be able to see at night a lot easier. The trailer will be equipped with reverse lights. I got that in with what I ordered, and when it gets time to do the wiring, I'll show all that. But for right now, I'm going to take this wicked thing. Once it grabs, boy, this thing just wants to get ripped out of your hands. So I'm just going to give you a little flavor of what I'm doing as far as getting it cleaned up, and then put you on hold, and then once I'm ready to paint, we'll zoom in on that. Okay, I don't want to bore everybody in the world here with this, but it's to give you an idea of going over, especially the areas that were just welded, and get all the slag off, get all that brown film that ends up being around where you welded off, and then also get rid of any of the surface rust that's on there off. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. And she is wired up, cleaned up, I guess good enough. I'm going to be using a Rust-Oleum paint, so whatever little surface stuff that's on there, it's not going to really affect it. So, just to give you a little bird's eye view of it being cleaned up, and I won't weld on these plates until after this area, all, the whole thing inside and out is painted. It'll make it a lot easier. Because when you're spraying into a channel like that, it's almost like spraying into a cup. It just wants to come back at your face. And actually, before I put that in there, I will flip those pieces over and then spray them, and then I'll weld them on. And once they're welded, then I'll finish actually painting them. I might even do a little paint like down the center. Just leave the ends open so I can weld it and don't have to worry about cleaning it after painting it. So that's what I'm going to do on that. So as you can see, the rest of it's all cleaned up. I actually added these brackets here for the lights I picked up, the LED lights, and I might make a little shell around it, protect it. I don't think I'll need it, but it's out, they're up there, the hole is already there, drilled for it. It's all welded in there nice and pretty, but it's all ready for paint. And I believe before I paint it, I am going to take these off. I'm going to leave them black. The rest of the trailer is going to be gray, like I already started to paint gray. But she's ready, and when I go to paint it, I'll be coming back to you. So until then, hang tight. Stand by. Okay, I'm back. And I'm about to paint some of the areas. As you can probably tell, the background, it's night, not that late or anything, but I wanted to have certain areas painted before I finish painting it out tomorrow. For an example, the underneath of these plates here, I want to have these painted. I want to have the inside of the, say, wheel well area painted. So I figured I would hit these areas, hit them on that side as well as this side. But I'm going to go around and wipe off the underneath side that's going to be painted now. Not that it's really dirty, but if it's dusty. Alright, so what I'm going to do is take some air to it, that this area here, get any of the particles from welding out of it, and the wheel, cleaning it up. Alrighty, so paint's already mixed. It is ready to go. Let me grab the old mat and do some painting. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. I hope so. Whew. I don't like the way it's spraying, but it's gonna have to do. Time to fill up. I'll be back. I'm gonna put you on standby and let me get her done. Okay, I'm back. And for now, both of these are painted. The wheel well areas are painted. And kind of scattered around a little bit the tail end parts that had bare metal showing. And I did get to paint the majority of the top, which I'll show you in a moment as I climb up on there. And also, I did a little bit of the gooseneck. And as you'll be able to tell, I actually did put somewhat of a decent diamond plate floor down. It holds pretty good. I was actually standing on it when I got done doing it. And I know it's going to be hard to see it, and I'll show you again tomorrow during the daylight. But that part right there is for the 2 spare tires. Fits perfectly. And all 3 sections that I cut from the 3 axles out to shorten the axles, I actually used to keep the tires there from going in either direction. And even though it'll still be, strapped down, but it's just extra precaution and use up the stuff that I have. I didn't see any other use for it. Instead of throwing it away, I think it makes a good lockdown point for 2 spare tires. And actually, I'm going to cut the climb back down again without touching anything. Now my next move is I'm going to take off these two jacks so that tomorrow when I go back at it and paint, they'll already be off. And after that, it's going to be the wiring and the lights. And I did pick that stuff up, and I did make brackets for it in the back to hold these lights that I wanted, and I'll show you that tomorrow. But until then, tomorrow will be another day, and I'll see you then. Peace out. There she is, Puss in Boots. She is in charge again today. I guess she would like for me to pet her. I know she's not hungry because her food is sitting there in that bowl. But nevertheless, yeah, she wants some loving. Yeah, for being the type of cat she is, at times you get a little bit of an attitude, but all in all, she's a good cat. Good shop cat, keeps the mice away. I don't have to worry about any of the wiring getting chewed on with her around. But today, to continuous prep and paint the trailer. Painted some of the areas nice and glossy, smooth. And there she goes. She come running out. She's a crazy kitty. But I did paint. I'm going to move this bench out so I can get up here. I don't know if it was easy enough to see, but I also painted the upper section here where the spare tires are going and where the compressor would sit if I need it, or anything else for that matter in here. This is pretty sturdy. And she found herself a spot real quick to just park herself and start cleaning her paws and wait till I get started so that she can inspect. That's right. But I will be finishing up the paint on this, and then I will start, once the paint is dry, I will start running the wires for it. So all these sections here are ready for me to put that piece on here and weld it, and the same thing with that over there to go over there and weld it. And I'm going to do that first before I get painting, because I have to flip these the other way, weld them in place, and go on from there. And I did spray a little bit around here last night just in case of any moisture getting on the places I already prepped, that it wouldn't start rusting on me or surface rust. But I just got back from good old Home Depot and picked up another gallon of Rust-Oleum paint. I've used Rust-Oleum in the past, and actually I used it on the red trailer, and it lasted quite a few years. So I think, and I'm sure a lot of people feel, that the Rust-Oleum paint is a pretty good product. And once again, I'm not being sponsored by Rust-Oleum or whatever the company that makes this, which most likely is that, but the color I'm putting on there is called Smoke Gray. And I didn't want to do black. Black, everybody does black. Black is too hot, especially knowing that it'll be in the sun, and gray being a lighter color, I don't think it'll get as hot. And it was suggested to me that maybe I throw some color on there, like to kind of match the dually that'll be pulling it. And there really isn't enough of that. I don't want to get into that kind of work doing on this trailer. I've spent enough time on the trailer as it is, and I'm still not finished with it. Got to put the wooden deck down, got to run the wiring, the lights, and then run the reflective tape down the sides, and then take it on a run without anything on it, just to see how it handles and the feel of it all. But that's going to be pretty much it. I don't want to get into doing any kind of custom paint on here. It just really wouldn't serve any major purpose. Maybe to some people it might, but right here you can see I have on the bottom of that a nice piece of angle iron with the holes in it to receive the lights that I picked. And when it comes to doing the lights, you'll get to see what they look like. So let me get started with getting everything set up. And once I am set up and I have my machine out of the way, and I have the camera far enough back to where I don't get any overspray on it, I don't want any of that happening, and I will be back. So just hang out there for a second and I'll get right back with you. I'm going to weld her up. Stand by. Okay, everything now, both of the diamond plates are welded in place. It's all cleaned up. Yep, it is ready for paint. I don't know if you can see the welds or not, but it's all welded in place. Everything is hopefully cleaned up enough. I definitely took the wire wheel over both of these to make sure all the little surface nonsense was off. So now it's time to finish painting, and that's what I'm about to do. I'm going to put the welder back where it belongs, out of the way, and make some room and put this up on the stand and show you a little bit of the paint as I spray it. Here's my little Puss in Boots is up on her so-called hammock style place for her to sleep. Yeah, she's on the plastic over where the convertible top is put back. I have to fix that, but she's here. Look at, she's got her eyes closed. I think she's snoozing. But that's her little favorite place, I believe, anymore for now. Cats tend to do that. They find a spot, they hang out there for a little while, and then they pick another spot, they hang out there for a while, and before you know it, they've kind of went around the whole circle. But there she is, and I'm going to put you on standby and get set up to paint. Okay, I'm ready to get started. I'm going to start with the back section first, get that all done, work my way up to the middle because I have to go underneath as well as whatever I see on top, and then work my way down the line and then hit that end last. I'm hoping that overspray doesn't get all over this thing. I'm going to hopefully have it set far enough back. Really won't know until I'm all said and done. But I'm going to try. Yes, I am. Zoom in so they can go further away. Yeah, that should do it. For a moment, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm ready to rock and roll, and you might be able to hear outside Dum barking. That's right. Alrighty, now that you've seen me underneath the trailer, I got obviously more to spray, but I noticed that running it straight, I said I wasn't going to mix it. I might have to add a little bit of thinner to it. It seems to not flow out the way I would want it to, but I'm not going to use as much as I did on the first gallon. So I went through this reservoir container or whatever, so my next batch will be a little bit thinner. And like I mentioned earlier, no sooner did I pick up that little noise-making air hose at the end, the cat shot off the car. But stay tuned, I'll be right back. Well, here we are, I'm back. And the trailer is painted. Boy, that was fun. Not to mention just how ragged dirty I feel and look. But all of it is painted. Well, I can't say all of it. There are 3 spots that won't get painted until they're on the tires. 1 spot right there, and then the other 2 spots will be this support and that support. When I go to put those runners on over here to hold the aluminum ramps, then all that will get painted. But I'd have to say 99 or 98% of this trailer is painted. Hot diggity dog diggity, including underneath there, because I moved these so that I can get underneath there and paint it. Even the chains are painted. Some spots that ran, I don't care, I put it on heavy. That's alright. And I even, in black paint, painted the plates that I welded on the 2 jacks. Yep, both sides, shiny black, because I did not want to paint these the same color as the trailer. So, oh, and I also did not paint the galvanized pipe. Looks like galvanized. That goes from one leg or one jack to the other. So here it is, in its form of glory. Hallelujah. Painted. Now the next step is going to be all the controls, the wiring, the winch, wheels, and tires. I have tires ordered, 7 of them, because 1 is good. It's pretty good anyway. Actually, I think it is, and it's not old. So it's going to be one of the spares. So I'll have 2 spares. So I just need to order 7 tires. And I will be painting the rims, and I'll be painting them white so they match the white style wheels that I had to buy to the additional ones. The 2 additional, I bought 3 additional wheels. And here she is. She's in charge once again, and she gave the stamp of approval. Yep. Good old Miss Puss in Boots. And as soon as she heard that air, she was gone. Just like I said she would. Yep, her tail's up. She's yawning. She ate. She's happy. Alright. So, this will end this particular video on the little bit of welding and prep for paint and paint. So, until the next one shows up, I would appreciate y'all liking, making a comment, subscribe, tell your friends, family, whatever. The subscriptions do help people like myself when it comes to doing these YouTube channels. Oh, I noticed in the reflection I got some paint right here. Alrighty. But I do appreciate anybody that's watching and will subscribe. And until then, go get something done.